you can solve almost any problem that you have right now in your life. I mean, in this world, you can solve any problem that you have in your life. Okay, so how do you do that? Well, we have different kinds of problems. Some problems are, you know, uh, some problems are like our desires. Desire is a problem. Some are like that. Okay, I really want that thing so I created a problem. So the problem is solvable by getting that thing. For example, I really want to have $1 million in cash. So that I created a problem on me. And the problem is solvable by getting this $1 million. That is one type of problem. But another type of problem is, I am in misery right now. I have pain in my head. I have physical pain. I have intellectual pain, emotional pain, some sort of spiritual pain, and I am in a problem. That is solvable. I mean, if you have a physical problem, you can just start working on that. It will take time, but it is solvable. And there are some problems which are not directly related to ourselves. There are other people when other people are involved in it. For example, I used to have a lot of problems I thought those are problems, but I used to have a lot of problem when I got into a lot of socialization, and I talk a lot when I'm around people. I am an introvert kind of, but I talk a lot when I'm around people, and I often make those mistakes by making comments, and then when I get alone, I spend a lot of time alone at the same time. So when I get alone, my brain processes all of those talks that I made previously when I was around people, and then my mind said, "Hey, why did you say that? That person might be feeling bad. You insulted that person." So my brain processes a lot of this stuff. So I think that is a problem for me. I feel like, okay, I just made a problem. I just made that person humiliated, and I should be sorry for that. And the reason why I wasn't sorry, and I think I ruined that relationship with that person. So this is a problem when other people are related to it. So what I can do is, okay, I can just go talk to him and talk to those people that, hey, I made a mistake. I just made a mistake. Can you just forgive me for that? Or can you just, I can do some good stuff to them. So by resolving this, I can solve that problem. But if I don't take action, if I don't do that, I just create a barrier around my brain where I can just continuously think about it, and and suffer within that mental what do you call it, paradox or something. So that is a kind of problem when other people are related to it. But I can solve it by going to them, talking to them, doing something to them and for them. And another problem that you can have is financial problem. Financial problem is something like, if Dan, he's a financial advisor or something. That guy gives a lot of lectures. He said, if you have a problem that can be solved by money, you don't have a problem. That means money can be earned anytime. If you have a financial problem at this moment, you can just start working on it, and all of a sudden you can just get those money and solve those problems. So these are money problem is not actually a problem unless you are disabled as a person. I mean, if you are someone who can understand that I have a money problem and you can work on it, all of a sudden you can solve it by earning those finances that you need. And we can have problems in our relationships most of the time that solvable by accepting the fact that this person is this, I want to be with them anyway. So I accept all of their shortcomings and human behaviors where they just treat you bad, or you treat them bad, and they just don't understand that, or you just don't find peace around them, but you accept the fact that, well, I will not find peace around them, but I always will get around them anyway, and we can just live like this. And I accepted the fact that well, this is the life, this life is meant for me. Yeah, that is one kind of solution. But another kind of solution is to get away from them. Not everybody will understand you, and not everybody will have the level of maturity that you have, or not everybody will have the kind of mental, kind of level of understanding that you have. Deep talks, deep ideas, and deep relations are not for everyone. So you cannot have that with all types of people. You just gotta let some people go. That is one kind of solution. So the moral of this story, why I'm talking all of this, is that any kind of problems that you have right now that is making you feel stuck is actually solvable. These are types of, there is nothing impossible in this universe. Almost everything that you have right now, almost every barriers, problems that you have, it can be solved in some way. The mental prisons, what we have is we are building out by ourselves. These, when it seems like that you have a problem and it can never be solved, that is a mental prison. And when you have something like you just don't see a way out, or you just that you lost something. Okay, let's put it this way: you lost something, and you just want to get it back. That is a problem. But not everything in this world is achievable. And when you face this kind of situation where you'll feel like, well, I have fallen into a problem which is impossible to solve, that is when comes the art of letting go. I've already made a video. It should pop up right here or right there. So when you master that, when you fall into this kind of problem where it seems like you are in a prison, like you cannot break out, or you are stuck in life, that is when you have to master the art of letting go. In a human life, it is too short and it is too limited for us to have everything. So let's say I am 5.5 feet tall. If I want to become a basketball player like 6'8", I can never be that. I can never be 6'8" and become the famous basketball player. I am a tiny little person. So I accept the fact that I am this. I can never achieve those, like basketball goals. So I let them go. I remember when I was in my teenage, I wanted to become like Captain America. Huge, big, muscular, like dominates everything that comes in front of him, like smashes him away. But later on I realized that, well, my genetics will not allow me to go that tall, like 6'2", and become this much of masculine. So I accept the fact. I let those go. And to be honest, I suffered a lot. I really wanted to be that big and those masculine, having those masculine muscles and be the man in the room. But I accept the fact that I will never be that. So I let them go. So I released myself from that prison that I was building on myself. So you have to master the art of letting go. So there are two things that is left for you. One is work on the problem that you have right now, and if it seems like, or logically, if it is not solvable, or seems it is impossible to solve, then you can just let it go, and you can just work the art of letting go, and just be at peace. The time we have in this world is too short to be unhappy and be miserable. Yeah. Okay. See you in the next one.